Hi guys, I'm Madison Vartanian and I'm from Innisfil, Ontario, Canada. I've been a fan of you guys for about 5 years now, but not really a hardcore fan until the past 8 months, where I am now a member of the Echelon, a huge dedicated fan. And what introduced me to you guys, I was 11 and I heard From yesterday. I don't know where I heard it, honestly, but just the moment I heard it, something clicked inside of me, and I thought, oh my god, who are these people? And at that time, I wasn't really into rock music, I guess, so it was kind of weird for me to just hear you guys and all of a sudden be so connected. And my friends were surprised because, like I said, I wasn't into rock music, but I got your album, A Beautiful Lie. I listened to it all the time, and I was pretty much obsessed with you guys when I was 11, but, you know, transitioning into my teenage years, my music taste was changing, and I really regret it, but I kind of left you guys behind for a little bit. I always occasionally listened to you, but it wasn't like it was before until I heard Kings and Queens, and I freaked out. I'm like, oh my god, 30 Seconds to Mars are back, because I hadn't heard you guys in so long, and right when I heard it, I rushed out and got your CD, and that was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life, because since then, I've just been blessed with so many different things, with meeting members of the Echelon, following each other on Twitter, learning every single little detail about you guys, meeting you guys at the Toronto concert, overcoming obstacles in my life from your music, just countless nameless things that I can just go on forever about. But I guess I could say, well, 100% sure, the best day of my life was April 18th, 2010, the date of the Toronto show, because everything I had ever wanted happened in that moment, during that day. I went about 5 hours earlier than the show started to wait in line because I really wanted to be front row, and I got second row. There was just one girl in front of me, and Jared, you probably remember, you had to stop the song Attack when you were singing because the girl in front of me, she looked miserable, and you stopped everything and you're like, hey, if you don't start smiling and having the best time of your life, then I'm just gonna have to bring you on stage and show you. And that was really funny because I was right behind her and I'm like freaking out, and you started pointing at all the people who had to have more fun, and you're like, you, and then you missed me because I knew I was going crazy, and it was just really funny. But during the show, you sprayed me with your water, I got a picture of you pointing at me, you came on top of us and I was touching you, and I guess when Kings and Queens came, I had seen YouTube videos of you inviting people on the stage, and I was like, okay, I am determined to go on stage. So you were asking people to come on, and slowly there were more and more people, and I wasn't going up, and I was freaking out. But then the security guy walked in front of the gate where we're standing, and everyone was like, oh my god, pick me, pick me. But I was like, okay, I need to get his attention. So I smacked him really hard on his shoulder to get his attention, and he looked at me right directly in the audience and physically put his arms over everyone and picked me out of the audience while everyone's either pushing me up or pulling me down, touching me everywhere. So I got over the gate. I jumped up on the speakers because the security guy tried to help me up, but I didn't even know what he was doing, so I jumped up, and I was right in the front there, right beside you, on stage. It was so surreal. I was freaking out in my head. I was looking around, seeing these thousands of people looking up at all of us on stage, and that is one of the moments that I will never forget. I look right in front of me, you're standing there. I look to my right, Tomo's there. I look to my left, Shannon's there. It's perfect, me with my favorite guys on earth. Oh my god, I'm getting so worked up thinking about it because I just want to go back to that moment. And so after that was over, after me freaking out, jumping on stage, singing, chanting. I thought, okay, this is the best day of my life. Little did I know that I would end up meeting you guys. So after the show, my friend who was with me isn't a huge 30 Seconds to Mars fan. I just brought her because none of my other friends really listen to you guys. But I've tried to convert them to Echelism, how I call it, but no, they're not really into it. But anyways, so my friend and I were outside, and I'm like, oh my god, maybe we can meet them. And we go in and we look, and there's a huge lineup, and she's like, oh, I don't want to wait. So I was being a good friend and said fine, when deep down my heart was broken because I wanted to meet you guys so badly. And so we were waiting for a long time, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go back and see what the lineup is like. So I go inside and I say to the security guards, I'm like, can I go in? Like, is there a lineup? And they're like, oh, we're going to close the doors, so you better go in. So I go into that room, that little sunroom you guys were in, and they shut the doors right behind me. I was the last person to be let in and to meet you guys. And I took out my camera, but then they said there were no pictures allowed, so I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm waiting in line by myself because my friend's not even with me. And I slowly get up to you guys. I'm thinking, oh my god, what can they sign? And so at first there's Shannon. I tell you, Shannon, how incredible you are. You thank me, of course. We have a little talk. And Tomo, I told you that I loved you because you retweeted me on Twitter. And you were like, oh, yeah, because I'm a crazy motherfucker. And I was like, yeah, you really are. And at that moment, I looked over to my right a little bit, and Jared, you were just looking right at me, and I looked right into your like gorgeous blue eyes, and I was like, oh my god, what do I say? In my head, I'm thinking this, and I give you the things to sign, and I tell you how you've literally saved my life, which is true, and you thank me, of course. And after we have a little chat, I ask if I can have a hug, and you come around, you're like, yeah, sure, let's hug it out. So you hug me, and after you hugged me, you started to walk because you guys were finished because no one else was in line. And I told you, I said, never stop making music. And after that, I just ran out, like screaming, running to where my friend was, and I told her, and I was crying, and I was so happy that I got this t-shirt. I got it signed right here by you guys. My ticket signed, and I had this, but I didn't get it signed, which I should have. I had another piece of paper that I got signed, but yeah, that is my story about meeting you guys and seeing you guys. But just, I want to thank you again for making my life so much better, for me looking forward for the next day to wake up to talk to the Echelon on Twitter, because they make me happy to read your tweets, to follow you guys throughout the world, looking at videos. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really, really do. And I am waiting on the edge of my seat for the next Toronto show, because I will be there front, center, and all of those crazy good things are going to happen again. And I know it. And just thank you so much again.